It's great
How
to
are
see
you,
you
Kevin?
today.
You good, mate?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Huge congrats on the series. It is
Thank you.
it's a deeply profound watch. I must say, you're fantastic in it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I know you did Wolf Hall a little ways back, but this is really your first like starring gig in a TV or streaming series, right? Like, were you actively looking to do something more episodic and sort of long term that you could sink your teeth into character wise?
To be perfectly honest with you, mate, I'm not actively looking for anything. The industry's a minefield, and you can come across the best script you've ever read one day and the worst thing you've ever read the next. So for me, I really live by never say never. I'm open to everything. TV was definitely not on my radar. But my agents brought it to me. They told me about Akiva. They told me about the subject matter. They told me about the opportunity that this would bring as an actor. And it kind of was music to my ears. So I was happy to sit down with Akiva. He's a great salesperson. He had me after the first meeting. And I'm delighted that we made it because I'm very proud of it.
Beyond the format, like what did this series and role give you the chance to explore, to do on screen that you'd never done before?
I think for me, playing someone as volatile as Danny, someone with such extreme highs and lows, was like an amazing opportunity for me as an actor to try and stretch myself, but also to find a way to exist in the middle. That's the hardest part. The extremes are easy. I can scream and shout all day, and I can cry in a corner all day, but finding that middle ground for me, the subtleties of that performance, is what I'm really proud of. And I haven't really found a character in my career that's allowed me to do all three. So I just was really lucky that Danny kind of brought that for me.
Yeah, I mean, the previews tease that Danny is going to discover a revelation about himself by the end. Did you learn anything about yourself working on this one?
Yeah, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my capabilities as an actor. I learned a lot about my abilities to handle certain situations. I think a few years ago I might have been really upset about a few things that were going on this job, and I was able to kind of keep a level head and focus on the work and do my best, which is, the thing my dad's always sort of brought us up with. As long as you do your best, you can be happy. So yeah, I did learn a lot about myself.
We talked a little bit about role selection in this being sort of your first series. I imagine this had to be your biggest commitment to a role outside of the Spider-Verse. Tonally, obviously, couldn't be much different, but how conscious are you of that in selecting projects, sort of veering away from just the potential of any pigeonhole?
Do you know what, mate? I'm not really concerned about being pigeonholed. I really look at my career from my own set of eyes, and I worry less about what people think about whether or not they see me as Spider-Man or whether or not they see me as Danny. I see each and every film as a personal achievement. Whether I'm proud of a film or not is really how I kind of weigh up my emotions about something. I try not to look at reviews. I try not to hear what people say around the world. So it's not something that I actively do. I feel like my agents and I have navigated the industry in a really good way over the last 10 years. But that said, if I just play Spider-Man for the rest of my life, I'd be still the luckiest kid alive. So there's no complaints from me here.
Amy Pascal said just this week, Spider-Man 4 is still a go. Is there anywhere you want to see the series go from here? I mean, you got a tough act to follow after that last one, which was so amazing.
I'm gonna have to plead the fifth there because I'm not prepared to start talking about the future of Spider-Man. As everyone knows, I love him. He changed my life. I love the character. Should we find a way to tell his story and do justice to him, we will do so. But if we can't find a way to do that, and if we can't find a way to compete with the third one, then he'll swing off into the sunset.
Maybe this one will be easier. She also said there will be a Spider-Woman movie. Any thoughts on who you'd like to see in that role?
Off the top of my dome, I couldn't give you an answer, but I can say that I'm really excited for Dakota's film. I've heard it's excellent. I think it's going to be brilliant. It's about time that we've had a female Spider-Man and a female Spider-Woman. So I'm really excited for that film, and I wish them all the best.
This is kind of tying it all together, but how did you guys land on what comic book Danny would be reading? I think it's the Scorpion. Like an Atlas, like it's an obscure like Atlas comic. Is there any backstory to that?
Yeah, we landed on that because DC and Marvel wouldn't allow us to use their comics.
Amazing.
Yeah, as producer, I remember being like, "I'm good. Don't worry, guys. I have a great relationship with Marvel. I'll get them to approve it." Call them up, and they were like, "Absolutely not."
That's genuinely shocking.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that.
Kevin, thank you very
Tom,
much, mate. I appreciate it.
oh, it's a pleasure to speak with you. Big congrats again.
Thank you.